Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far as the opening weekend is very well underway. The matches only get even more spicy as we get into the rest of this weekend, but the drama was certainly hitting the timeline last night after Seattle Surge versus the New York Subliners concluded. Crimsix and Accuracy got into a bit of beef on the timeline. Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Tell the channel reach new people and hit that subscribe button as well. If you have not yet already, I would really appreciate it. This nice little turn up from Crimsix as well. He was going rogue, honestly, with the SMG lately. It's been a sight to see, let's say, from the New York Subliner side. But of course, well, Seattle Surge are just very good right now. They lost to them yesterday. More drama about that to dive into here in a couple of minutes' time. This also from Cronut new design that Roosevelt came out with. Got the nice Intel CDL at as well on the timeline right here. So cool to see. Crone's rebranded, but well, still the same great content he's going to be coming out with. This also, I believe, Chance even mentioned this on the broadcast. The CDL coaches poll. We saw this, I believe, just before the kickoff classic. And not all that much has changed, honestly, since then. This is based on what the coaches think right now is how good these teams are. So, of course, well, going into the kickoff classic, they were third at Toronto Ultra. They won the entire thing. They just about get the most points over Atlanta FaZe. So, this is quite interesting, really, that the coaches, despite the fact that FaZe went out first round and Ultra won the entire event, they only just about get the first spot in terms of points received. So, the coaches still certainly think FaZe are very good right now, if not, like, as good as Toronto, maybe just slightly better, slightly worse, some of them think. Definitely some of the coaches still thought FaZe were better than Ultra, and I mean, yeah, these top two quite a way ahead, and then we've got Surge down here at, well, third place, OpTic down here at fourth, then Los Angeles Thieves, quite a way down in terms of total points received from all the coaching staffs, then it's Subliners in sixth, Boston Breach, Minnesota Rokkr, then Los Angeles Guerrillas down here in ninth, Florida Mutineers, nothing really changed much there, even though they did look okay against Los Angeles Guerrillas in that first series, and then it's Ravens and Legion to finish off the job, but maybe Ravens can make some moves, especially given their result they had yesterday up against the Mutineers. So this is what the coaches seem to think, but well, I'm sure this will change very rapidly over time. This also diving quickly into that Florida versus London series, because we looked at yesterday that the Florida guys were kind of confused why they were playing on a Virginia server the CDL had determined, when I'm pretty sure the London guys are based in Charlotte, and of course the Florida guys are based in just north of Miami. Now, I mean, still, obviously this looks like it's going to give the London guys a massive advantage. I think it did give the London guys some advantage, but well, at least according to Alex Penn from the CDL side, the difference really wasn't all that severe, right? Apparently the average difference in latency between the two teams was 8.2 milliseconds for that first series. So on average, I'm pretty sure London would have had an 8 millisecond less ping than the Florida guys, which of course is significant, but it's not absolutely, well, it's not incredibly substantial to the point where you get 3-0'd quite how they did, you could well argue. Especially because Los Angeles Guerrillas and Boston Breach were also in a similar spot where, not sure who was at the disadvantage here, maybe Boston, because Texas is generally better, and I'm pretty sure the Los Angeles Guerrillas are based there, but still, it was actually the second game, Boston versus LAG, that had a greater ping differential than that first map. So as he says, internet routing is confusing, and geography isn't the only thing that impacts latency, and of course that finals here was only a 2 millisecond ping difference between the two squads, and every single team was under 42 average latency anyway. So you know, maybe just kind of shutting down some of the excuses that the Florida guys had, but maybe we'll see more of this crop up towards the future as well, because the CDL seemingly right now, they're deciding what servers they're playing on, and the pros aren't always convinced those might necessarily be the best servers for those matches. Well, let's dive into quickly this match from yesterday. We didn't actually look at this final scoreboard last night. Surge versus Subliners. Just wanted to shout out really Sim and Pred. I mean, look at these overall stats. Sim has a 1.4, I mean, just standard stuff, but Pred's here with 77 kills, 65 deaths. I mean, not only does he have the most kills in the lobby, but he almost has the most deaths as well. I mean, Clayster's here at 70, but I mean, like, it just shows the amount of engagements this guy's putting on the map, and his damage is almost 9,000, way ahead of everyone else in the lobby. So Sim's dropping crazy numbers, but Pred just seems to be having insane impact, right? And that's really what's taking the Seattle squad to the next level at the present time. This then from the Subliners side, because we know this No Pressure documentary is coming out. They say it's going to be on the 10th of February, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's pretty cool, exciting stuff. I'm pretty sure, like, behind the scenes of Crimsix's stuff, maybe the rest of the teams as well, I'm not really sure. But still, they're going to continue on this kind of documentary series, we imagine, for the rest of the season. But one thing New York have definitely been getting some slack for lately is this whole NFT thing. Now, I don't really want to get into the details on this, because I don't really know what's going on and understand this whole thing, to be honest. But I know that certainly, if any organization says NFT on the timeline, they're just going to get roasted. If you call it something that's not an NFT, but it's still an NFT, then you don't get roasted quite so badly. But anyway, Clayster was talking about it, right? And there was, I don't know, some packs you could buy that, I don't know if they're going to have any value in the future, but still, I guess some collectible type stuff that was going on. And Clayster was kind of, well, talking about it on the timeline. Crimsix also dropped a retweet on it, and there was some talk on Reddit. Okay, is Clayster and Crimsix complicit in the selling of Subliners NFTs? Because no one's really happy about this right now, to be honest. A lot of people are considering it kind of, ruining the reputation that New York have built up with good content and good kind of memes on the timeline timeline over the last couple of years. But this is what Crimsix said: "We don't have a choice on the matter. Retweet or else sort of deal. Should use your Twitch Prime on twitch.tv/Crimsix and find the part in my last stream where I disliked the announcement video because it was awful. Seems like you're reaching here, but just know that I don't know the first thing about NFTs, let alone buy any. I own none and will not profit a dime from whatever they just released. We weren't given any either." I'm about to make another post in here, so okay, I'm not sure if Crimsix actually did that other post, but well, stay tuned for this one. So Crimsix seemingly not happy with his organization, like the way they did these announcements, the fact that he's not profiting at all. Now, of course, yes, it seems to a lot of people this kind of NFT stuff is just a cash grab for a lot of organizations. At the same time, these organizations aren't making any revenue, but I think a lot of people would say that this way of making revenue is not exactly making the fans particularly happy, and other organizations seem to be taking note as a result, and the players themselves don't really seem to be on board with all this type of stuff. And of course, they were getting memed on it relentlessly on the timeline as a result of this, right? As CDL Memes points out, how much do y'all think this NFT goes for, right? The 3-0 comes through, and even Seattle Surge is kind of funny, because Seattle didn't win any series last year. They didn't really get the opportunity to meme anyone, but here they've come straight through. They've got some lyrics going up, you know, my focus is on building real wins in the real world, real hardpoint wins, real control wins, real search and destroy wins. Do not ask me to do an NFT. So I just saw fantastic stuff really for the Surge. If they keep this up going forward, it is exciting stuff. But well, some reaction from the players' side as well. As Clayster says, GG Seattle lost 3-0. Lots to work on, they say. Certainly that is the case for New York right now, especially even where Seattle are. We'll see how they face today up against Toronto Ultra, the rematch of the major, well, the Kickoff Classic, right? Grand Finals, not technically a major. This also from Crimsix, GG Seattle Surge. Great team, but they get consistently lucky versus us, because of course they beat them at the kickoff as well, 3-1. Lamar is trash, but Simp makes up for it, because that guy just does not miss, right? So he's given definitely some credit to Simp, right, being a very good player, but well, comes out with the Lamar is trash. And I'm pretty sure last year there was some point where Sensor was having a go at accuracy, saying that he couldn't shoot straight or something, and well, accuracy came back with the fire, like he wasn't going to take it lying down. And well, basically accuracy does the same thing right here again up against Crimsix. So he comes back with this, keep that same energy, because it's just basically exposing DMs right here, because well, of course, Crimsix tweets this on the timeline. We know that Crimsix is a troll, right? If he says something on the timeline, doesn't necessarily mean that's actually what he believes behind the scenes, but still, there was some degree of beef as a result of this, because as accuracy kind of points out in the DMs behind the scenes, Crimsix was being pretty respectful. He says, brother, I got more respect for you than like 95% of pros, because you know how to hold yourself accountable, and you aren't afraid to hurt someone's feelings, straight up winner mentality. And goes on to say, you know, you might think you're hard to deal with, but so am I. I got more respect for someone who's blunt, that annoys me time to time, than someone I like that's a pussy, he says. I thought it was pretty funny, really. Those are the same people saying the stuff you know is true, but don't want to hear. But that's the definition of allowing yourself to improve. You broke up my Dynasty team with those World War II wins straight up at the start of the season, so always can be difficult to decipher what exactly Crimsix is on about. But this is what he tweets out anyway. And I mean, yeah, still, Crimsix then comes back and says, you know, why are you exposing DMs? What's going on here? Accuracy, I was trying to give you some gas, and now you're exposing me on the timeline. 3'd us and got tight over a trolley tweet. You've got a weak gutty and a weak mental. So I kind of backtrack it on, I guess, what he said in the DMs. The Twitter operator strikes again. GG's, you win today, but the war is far from over. Something, yeah, Crimsix is definitely not going to take this one lying down. He's, if anything, more riled up than he was before to take that accuracy going forwards. And even this, by the way, in the 1v1, you guys remember that 1v1 we discussed yesterday where Crimsix was chasing him down, was about half a second away from the bomb. By the way, in the 1v1, you ran for me like a coward today. If I wasn't so fat, I would have made it and defused in time. But yeah, looking forward to these battles going forward, most certainly. And let's dive into the series going on today. So, OpTic's debut is going to happen today, right? I thought this is a pretty funny clip, actually, that came up from Formal, or at least he was just kind of breaking down the 1 versus 1 that happened, OpTic versus Panda, CWL Atlanta, I reckon it was, right? This is for top 12, way back in the, the loser got top 12, I think this was to get to top 8, but yeah, Formal was basically just making it very clear that if Karma had lost this 1 versus 1, he basically would have left the team, or at least Formal would have left the team, gone to Luminosity, as he ended up doing the next year anyway. But I thought this was funny, because Karma wins the 1v1, and it's, you know, it's Formal that's talking the most trash. This is like all-time great trash talk up against Panda Gaming and the fast baller guys right here. But the new team is going to be playing today. This also, OpTic was somewhat concerned, because yesterday Tim the Tapman was co-streaming the CDL, and he says when OpTic come out here, wow, OpTic's such a good team. These guys, you know, well, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else, he reckons. So yeah, definitely trying not to curse them, but well, it may have already been too late at this point, right? So still, there was also a tweet from Scump right here as well in reply to Tim the Tapman, yo bro, what's up? Don't you dare, says Scump. So yeah, he's not willing to get, well, to get jinxed and to get cursed, but I mean, still, maybe it's too late for the OpTic guys, as we said. These then are the games for today. Very exciting, honestly, like, I'm really excited for all the games at this point. The matches seem to just be so much better this year than last year. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's early season, but there's no real boring games right now. There's no two teams that play each other, there's no decent storylines or something interesting going on there. So yes, first up it's FaZe versus Paris. FaZe's first proper game this this season. Last season, when they lost the kickoff event, or they lost the kickoff match they played against Florida, they then went on like an 11-game win streak, won the first major, won like 11 series in a row. We'll see if they start things off here against Paris. They more than likely will. In fairness, Paris, I think it might have been stage 1 last year. They put up a good fight. They took FaZe to a game 5. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a surprisingly close series, but still, generally, FaZe, when they lose a series, especially last year, they really come out with the fire, so I think FaZe are going to come out and handle business here, 3-0, 3-1. Then you've got Texas versus London, OpTic versus London. Now, I mean, this series is way more interesting given yesterday's result. I thought generally OpTic, okay, they should still be favourites here, no problem at all. I'm still going to take OpTic to win this one 3-1 or 3-2, but London looked really good yesterday against Florida. There's no taking away from it. Like, they seem to be a very hard team to beat right now. If they can play as they did yesterday, OpTic are not going to have an easy time at all. And of course, London also have their first series already played in this. Of course, they played yesterday. They got a great victory. That's a nice momentum builder. Like, they've already kind of got that practice under their belt, playing a proper CDL match once again. OpTic don't have that momentum coming in. So I still think OpTic take it, but I think this is a much more interesting series than a lot of people might have predicted. And then it gets even better, to be honest. We have Surge versus Ultra, rematch of the grand finals from the Kickoff Classic. And of course, Ultra won that one 3-1 in the end. But I think part of that might have been down to the fact that, yes, Ultra, they were already a proven at winning team. They won stage 2 major. Yes, that was online, but they'd already made grand finals in a LAN environment and played very well in that format. Whereas Surge, of course, very new team, very new to the main stage in general, in front of fans, all that type of stuff. So I really think that might have favoured Toronto to some degree. And then we've now got this online environment where Surge are based in Texas, Toronto based in Toronto. So probably Surge have somewhat of an advantage online, plus the other things I mentioned, and the momentum they have coming off that first series win from yesterday. I think Surge might win this one. I'm going to take it in a 3-1, I think. I think if it goes game 5, Ultra might win it, because in fairness, Ultra's search and destroy right now looks very difficult to stop. But I kind of feel like Seattle are going to find a way through this one. But still, I don't really mind who wins, just want an entertaining series. And then it's New York versus Guerrillas. And to be fair, for both of these teams, it's kind of a must-win, because both of them don't have easy runs by any means in these qualification matches. And New York kind of have to win this one. You'd think this is one of their, matches that actually is a decent chance to win. They play some very good teams throughout the end of the stage as well. So yes, I think New York will take this one. I don't think it's going to be easy for them by any means, but Los Angeles Guerrillas have impressed me slightly less so far than the subliners have, despite New York not exactly being on top of their game as yet. I think Guerrillas are very vulnerable in certain modes. Certainly a tendency, it seems, for some of their players to go missing in these series, but very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on a like button. Tell us the YouTube gods this is a good video. Others like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.